Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Hey, good morning. It is Thursday, March 8th, 2018. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. A tragic scene played out yesterday morning in Crownsville in a very quiet community. Just after 8 a.m., officers responded to the 500 block of Arundel Boulevard for a domestic assault in progress. The call was made from a neighbor who stated that the victim had asked her to call 911 because she was being threatened by her recently estranged husband. Upon arrival, officers found 2 victims outside of the residence. The woman, identified as Donna Fisher, was found deceased with multiple stab wounds, and her estranged husband, identified as David Rayner, was also found deceased with stab wounds and a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Rayner had been a special agent with the FBI and the Baltimore field office, and he had been employed there since 1996. The victims were taken to the office of the chief medical examiner, where an autopsy will be performed to determine the exact cause and manner of death. Police did say that it appears that Rayner stabbed his wife and then turned the gun on himself. The 2 were in the middle of a divorce, and it was 1 year ago on Monday that the divorce proceedings commenced, and they were due in court for a final hearing yesterday morning, about an hour after they were discovered deceased. Finally, some good news for residents of the Lighthouse Homeless Prevention Center. Nearly 50 residents have been unable to live in the lighthouse since Saturday evening when there was a chemical odor. The odor was determined to be non-toxic, and it was believed to have been a leak in the HVAC system. That has now been successfully repaired. The city inspector has deemed the building to be safe, and residents are moved back in. In a note posted to their Facebook page, Joanne Matson, the executive director, said she'd like to express our sincerest gratitude, appreciation, and thanks to all in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and the surrounding communities who have dedicated their time and support during the temporary evacuation of the lighthouse. The challenges of the situation were great, but thankfully the support from our community was even greater. This experience proved that we are a community that cares for our neighbors and values the well-being of those less fortunate. There are no words to express our deep appreciation to you all. And in news that might get you impeached or at least not elected again, Baltimore Mayor Catherine Pugh announced that she is going to provide 60 free buses to send students to visit Washington, D.C. on March 24th for a gun control rally. She made the announcements through a megaphone on Tuesday in front of City Hall, and she said, quote, "We are providing at least 60 buses so that our students from our city can take their voices to Washington, D.C., so that they can hear what we have to say. We believe as you believe, that there should be no guns." I'm not sure how that's going to work out for the mayor. Hey, make sure you check out themarylandcrabs.com. I've been doing a lot of Crabcakes for the Annapolis Film Festival, and I have 2 that are up there already, and one is with Eric Christopher Myers, and he is the director, writer, and producer of a movie called Butterfly Kisses, which is based locally here in Ellicott City, a really sort of a fascinating horror/urban legend movie, not too far removed from the Blair Witch Project. And I also spoke with Robin Burgess, who is a female director behind the film Stumped, which is the story of a man who lost 4 limbs due to a bacterial infection, turned to comedy to keep himself sane, and ultimately underwent some experimental surgery to give him a dual-arm transplant. Not a prosthesis, a transplant. Both of those films are going to be showing at the Annapolis Film Festival, which starts on Thursday the 22nd, and they have just recently announced that the opening night picture will be a John Hamm film called Beirut. Tickets are available. You can get them at AnnapolisFilmFestival.com. However, I do recommend that you get passes, not individual tickets, just because it'll make things a lot easier for you. Hang loose, it's Thursday. We have Trevor from Makerspace coming up with the Maker Minute. And of course, we've got George Young with DMV Weather bringing you the local forecast. And once again, He's using that S word, and I hear there's some snow in the forecast Sunday into Monday.
I'm Sean O'Neill, your local RBC Wealth Management Advisor. More than likely, the primary reason you save and invest is to achieve your life goals while ensuring your long-term financial well-being. But before you can determine your preparedness towards your goals, you need long-term answers to important questions about how much money you need, where it will come from, and how long it will last. RBC Wealth Plan, a new industry-leading tool, is now available to help answer these questions and develop your personal plan using a conversational approach. With RBC Wealth Plan, we can create a personal analysis based on these unique goals while offering you the ability to weigh certain decisions and determine what's best for you and your family. Call me, Sean O'Neill, today at 410-573-6723 for a complimentary consultation.
RBC Wealth Management, a division of RBC Capital Markets, LLC. Member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and here is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Thursday, March 8th. After a very active start to March, we'll have a few relatively quiet days in and around Annapolis, with temps in the 40s for highs during the day, today through Sunday, and lows in the 30s or even upper 20s at night. It'll be breezy again today and tomorrow, though, following yesterday's storm, but winds will not be too strong, and they'll settle down by the time Friday afternoon or evening rolls around. Looking ahead, we're focusing on a possible winter storm for the region Sunday night into Monday. As always, we need cold air and the track is critical, but we like the chances for a good snowstorm as of today because the new storm is coming from more of a southerly direction than most other storms have this winter season, and also because there is a big high-pressure center to the north of us to help block the storm from cutting up to our west. Of course, that gives the storm a way out by allowing a move to our south and directly out to sea, but we feel fairly confident at this point that we might just get our best snowstorm of the season. So stay tuned over the coming days and be sure to download our free weather app by searching for DC MDVA Weather in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store, and also follow us at dmvweather.com or on Twitter or Facebook so you can always stay weather informed. This is George Young of DMV Weather with your Eye on Annapolis forecast. Enjoy these next few days of quiet, dry weather, but remember, whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
Mark your calendar. March 10th is the kickoff of Irish Week in Annapolis, and it all starts with the Eastport Democratic Club's annual green beer races. Keg tosses, best dressed contest for you and your pooch, the Irish Rock and Rollers of Dublin 5, plenty of food, and, well, because it's called the Green Beer Races, there's green beer and plenty of racing, both for the underage kids and the overaged kids too. This is a fun time for the whole family, including your pets. So roll on out of bed sometime on Saturday morning, the 10th of March, and head on over to the EDC at State and Chester. It all gets underway at the usual East Puerto Rican time, the crack of noon.
This is Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes. This Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Greenbelt Makerspace is hosting their quarterly Repair Cafe, where they invite the community to bring in any kind of damaged clothing, furniture, appliances, computers, toys, whatever you have that might be damaged or just not working very well, and they'll see what they can do to fix it up for you. Anything that can't be fixed or any other equipment that's broken that you'd like to donate will be used for their Destruction Day, where they invite kids to disassemble things to see how they work. There's also a few spots available for Greenbelt Makerspace's one-day programming workshop on March 30th. You can sign up on their website. Unallocated Space in Severn, Maryland is looking for presenters for their annual mini-con coming up on March 31st. Talks include anything maker or STEM related, from web applications to digital forensics to computer security, solar power, or even writing mods in Minecraft. This week, with the Anne Arundel County Public Library System, today at 3 p.m., the Severn Library is making LED greeting cards, exploring simple paper circuits using copper tape and LEDs to light up a greeting card. And if you missed that, there's also a Teen Tech Week class in paper circuits on Monday at the Crofton Library. Tuesday at the Odenton Library, they're doing Travel Across America, exploring landmarks across the country using Google Expeditions virtual reality kits. Registration is required for that one. I'd like to thank everyone who came out last week to Annapolis Makerspace for our CNC router class. For those of you who don't know what a CNC router is, it can carve designs out of wood controlled by a computer. Great for making signs and plaques, intricate woodworking designs that would be difficult to cut by hand, even do-it-yourself furniture. And we have one at Annapolis Makerspace. Also remember that next Wednesday is National Pie Day. Go out and celebrate with pie, either kind. As always, you can catch me tonight and every Thursday night at Annapolis Makerspace on Hudson Street for Electronics Night. You can find out more about our events at www.makeannapolis.org, and I'll have links to everything from this podcast on that site. Whether you're making art, software, sawdust, or just a mess, chances are you're already a maker. This has been Trevor from Annapolis Makerspace with this week's Maker Minutes.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.